Good up.
This is Channel 253. Beep, boop, boop.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain Podcast.
Beer's like music. It's subjective. You can't argue what the palate wants or what the ears want. You can't really say this beer is better than that beer. You can say it, but you're really just yelling an opinion. We could all sit at this table and agree that this beer is better than that beer, but it doesn't make this beer better than that beer. You could take it to another 20 people and get a completely different response. So I kind of take judging beer with a kind of a grain of salt. I think it's good to be judged by your peers and win medals. I think that's awesome. But it's so subjective.
Did you know Channel 253 is member supported? I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain Podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain Podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington. Woo! Woo! Hope everybody's having a very good holiday season so far. My name is Matt McLaren. I'm here, as always, with Ron Swarner.
Well, hello.
How's it going?
Good. The three ghosts did their job. I'm good now.
What the fuck does that mean? What?
What job? He's being Dickensian.
Never, you know what? Never mind. I like your Santa suit.
Thank you.
Jesus. Bethany, how's it going?
Well, hello.
Let's just...
Were you visited by three ghosts too?
Doug's on mic too. What's up, Doug?
Hey, hello.
Just going to be that every single time
Yep.
now.
Yep.
Well, hello. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, if you're free on Wednesday afternoons, please do come through and hang out in the side room at Peaks while we do this. It's a lot of fun, and you can talk to our guests in person. So it's cool to have everybody here. Our guest today is somebody we've kind of been talking to for a little while, and has done quite a bit. But I feel like we haven't branched a ton out of like Washington breweries and Washington beer. So this will be like a fun way to do that. Ron, who are we talking to today, man?
We're talking to Tim Ensign from Steeplejack, formerly Fort George.
And all the other stuff.
And formerly about 25 years of things.
Which we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
Yeah.
You said this was you've done 2 or 3 podcasts already this year?
This might be my third, I think.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Were they other beer ones or were they like?
Yeah, they were both beer ones, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What other beer podcasts?
You're going to put me on the spot here.
That's fine. It's okay if you don't remember.
Damon DeVisers in Portland, and then Brian Yeager. I can tell you the people who are running.
All right. Yeah.
I don't listen to a ton of podcasts, so don't hate me.
That's fine.
I'm a music guy, so when I'm in the car, I am just blasting music pretty much the whole time. So.
Didn't Brian write for the Willamette Week?
Yeah, Brian's done a lot of things for sure. Yeah, definitely him. Yeah.
Has earned a podcast spot.
Yeah, he earned a podcast spot. Yeah, I was out in Bend, and he just like literally quartered me. He's like, "You got 30 minutes?" And I was like, I squeezed it in between an event and seeing accounts. Probably
Sweet.
neglected seeing 2 accounts, but might have been worth it. So we'll see.
We're glad you're here, man. This is going to be awesome.
I'm so stoked to be here. Thanks for having me.
And there really is so much to talk about. But first, can we talk about what you're drinking?
I think we're all drinking the same thing.
I think we are all drinking the same thing.
It's really good.
Yeah. I actually already finished mine.
Really, really good.
It goes down smooth.
Yeah, this is Alewife. Everybody's got Alewife, right?
Traditional English mild, correct?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
is fantastic.
It's good.
Which is kind of, at least so far, has been like Steeplejack's sort of claim to fame in terms of like style and beer focus, has been like these very well executed, really beautiful traditional English styles or European styles, I should say.
Yeah.
And have just gotten, it's really only been a few years and have gotten so much notoriety for that, on top of just being a very beautiful place to drink a beer.
Right.
Dude, no shit. But yeah, man, I'm sure Ron's going to take it back to like,
Yeah, what was it like to grow up in San Jose?
Yeah, as a kid, it was fine. Suburbia, biking to go see friends, skateboarding to go see friends. Back when
Nice.
they're like, just don't come home until it's dark.
Till the lights come on.
Till the lights come on, yeah. I'm that generation, right? Totally.
Is that where you got into craft
Ron's
beer?
like, lights?
Actually, I did start getting into craft beer. My first legitimate job was at Trader Joe's when I was 17, and kind of got taken under the wings by a few people. And at that time it was like $3.99, like Jumping Cow Amber Ale, Billy Goat Bach, these weird Trader Joe's contract brew beers that were pretty decent. Pete's Wicked Ale had multi-grain and like all these weird beers. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then moving to Chico when I was 19, that really blossomed it.
What did you do in
Butte
Chico?
Creek. I helped out bottling at Butte Creek. Obviously, Sierra Nevada, you can drink pints of Harvest Ale and Celebration for $1 pints and $3 pitchers back in the days.
Jesus Christ.
Is almost encouraged to drink. I think back then,
Everybody in the room.
Sierra Nevada would sell like 10% of their beer in Chico. And you know how big there is? And Chico's got like 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Just do the math.
That's insane.
A lot of beer.
Just so
helped
much
out bottling.
consumption per capita.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, kegs, I remember. A full-size Butte Creek IPA keg, 7.2%, was $65 wholesale. Sierra Nevada keg was $85, and you can get them for about $10 more at the liquor store and just bring it to your party.
It's like what year were you talking?
We're talking like 99, 98,
Yeah.
97. Yeah. Speaking of 98.
And speaking of beer that seems like a fantasy for how cheaply it was priced,
Right.
You brought a couple of like secret stash bottles, and I'm gonna pour one of them right now.
Jump in there, please.
Yeah.
Hopefully they held up.
Were you homebrewing in Chico?
Beer.
I did start homebrewing in Chico. I think I only brewed one batch of beer before I moved to Portland in 2001. So.
And then you amped up your homebrew there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, our first batch we brewed in Portland, we got a blue medal for our IPA. It was a rye IPA, which was just really, really cool. It was the first beer we ever in a competition. And the guy I brewed it with, Kevin Drake, he owns brewery in Truckee. Now I'm blanking. Now you're going to kill me. He's got like Alibi Brewing.
There you
He's
go.
got like 3 locations around Truckee in California, and it's been very successful out there. So great guy. I haven't seen him for a while, but yeah, pretty cool way to start, his beer career and my beer career.
Totally.
So you jumped right into Fort George, like in your beer.
Yeah, Fort George came a little bit down the ways. I moved to Portland and did retail for almost a decade, and then got into not a decade, then got into distribution. Worked for Mountain Peoples. And then I transitioned to a brokerage company, which I ran for a couple of years, called Powered by Yeast. And then Fort George was basically our biggest client at the time. And then it was like next year was 30 hours a week at Fort George. And they're like, hey, we just want you. So we kind of dissolved the brand management company at that point. And I was full-time at Fort George, I think in 2009, 2010. Yeah, right when they put their, they expanded with the 30-barrel brew house and started canning is pretty much when I came on board. So, yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
All right.
Powered by Yeast.
The memories.
Yeah, what's that company? Can you
So
talk
yeah,
more
that was
about
our brand management company. So when I left Mountain Peoples, which was a small beer and wine distributor, they existed in Washington for a couple of years. Washington closed first. Oregon survived for a while, but I was basically running that entire distribution company. 8 sales reps, 9 sales reps, depending on the month. 3 delivery drivers. We did everything out of Salem, Oregon, and distributed the entire state. But we, carried, a lot of the organic OG breweries, Butte Creek, Eel River, Bison, stuff like that. And those were kind of our focus. But after doing that for, I think, 9 years, I was just really looking to do something different. I had a new boss that kind of came into play, and my job was getting like super micromanaged, and it wasn't micromanaged at all before, so I wasn't really digging that. And so I basically decided to start this brand management company to be a sales rep for breweries and cideries and wineries that could not afford a full-time rep. So Fort George was 20% of our time. We had an organic wine importer from Europe. We had Redstone Meadery out of Colorado. We ended up working with Artisanal Imports out of Austin, Texas, Lanny and those guys out there. And I worked with SBS Imports, Alan Shapiro, who's from Seattle also. So repped all those brands and different kind of models of how to support them. We weren't their distributor, so we weren't actually delivering beer, but we were like the brand liaisons, doing demos, events, and supporting those brands. And like I said, that survived for about a couple years until Fort George kind of pulled the carpet out. My wife worked at that with me too. She's been in the industry for a long time, and she transitioned to a job at Fin River at that point. And so when that happened, the whole company got dissolved. So, yeah.
You two drank well.
I was like, yeah, we drink well together. Yes.
Are we drinking 26-year-old barley wine?
Yeah. Wow, this actually
is that what that's? I'm reading this correct.
Yeah.
Brewed on 6/30/97.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's. I think you have now.
Wow.
This is the record for the oldest beer that I've had.
Me too.
Yep. It was Kenny brought us 2001 Leviathan.
It's holding up really good.
It's actually not bad.
Full Sail Old Board Head Barley Wine Ale.
Oh, Doug.
I'm fine. It's good.
It's like there's a little bit of vegetal character, but it's not even that. Reminds me of like matcha bread.
That's why I was. Yeah.
Comedy.
Comedy is ensuing visually.
Now you won't be able to not taste it.
I know.
Right.
Dad, you want some?
Do you want some pecan?
Well, now that I said it, you're only be able to taste that.
Exactly.
It's delicious.
You nailed it.
It's delicious.
I think I'm getting more than anyone else now.
Tis the season.
I've really parlayed this.
So we've talked a little bit about. I always call them kind of like sales co-ops, but the idea of representing multiple breweries as a brand liaison or as a salesperson. I like it, and I think there's sort of a version of that is the future of the industry starting now. And you were doing that shit over a decade ago.
Yeah.
So you were so far ahead of the market on that, which to me speaks a lot to your insight into how this world works or how this industry is probably going to play out in some way. There are people doing it now to varying degrees of success, but in general, it is a good idea, and it makes a lot of sense for breweries because it costs a lot of money to have a full-time salesperson for benefits and salary and all of that stuff. And all, if they can pay you, a fraction of that to still do most of the work that they would be doing, it really helps get good beer out into the market, obviously, but also gives those breweries kind of a leg up in terms of the amount of money they need to spend to get the impact on the market that they really need to, be successful. It's I don't know. Good on you for being so far ahead of the game on that.
I still feel. It was never really brought to its full fruition. My vision was 6 or 8 people, a team of staff, demo people. We can do multiple events on the same night because we have multiple people to support you.
Yep.
All those types of things, and we never really got to that point.
Right. To be fair, it's because you were hired by 2 of the best brands in the
Northwest
in their respective categories.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it back. My time at Fort George was just a blessing, and such a great team over there, and they're like my family. So yeah, nothing negative about
Yeah,
that,
totally.
So.
But also understood on
for sure,
got a vision,
and I
see
think
the
it's
potential.
Almost more applicable now.
I kind of agree.
There's way more small breweries that can't afford full-time staff than there was 10 years ago. As we said, back when I was 2001, when I was working at Belmont Station, there was maybe 1,000 beers available in Oregon. There's probably 4,000 or 5,000 beers available now.
Yep.
And right now, if you went every beer that was available in the state, it's mind blowing.
Honestly, 4,000 or 5,000 seems a little conservative.
and like I said, you're absolutely right. It's really hard to really put a gauge on those numbers.
Right.
And
but
once you got the number, it's going to be inaccurate by the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Just from 2015, the bump in breweries was insane, and you were still ahead of that. And you're right. There's a ton of breweries who are making really good beer that deserves to be in front of people.
Correct.
But when the market is really flooded and you don't have somebody that you trust to help you curate your selection, it's really hard to put your best foot forward in a super crowded beer industry. Which is why I we have a couple local guys who do this kind of same work now, and they represent brands that it makes a ton of sense for those brands and for the market because the beer is really good and it does deserve to be represented. Yeah, man, I just think it was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, when I learned that, I was like, that's
And Powered by Yeast is probably the coolest name ever, right? Come on,
it is a great name.
We are fueled by alcohol. It wouldn't be anything without the yeast, whether it's natural fermentation or inoculated yeast that you're putting in it yourself. It's still the yeast doing the job. Right?
Do you miss, or do you wish you were still involved with the 3-way IPA?
Well, so when I started out, three-way happened while I was at the helm there, and it got to a point that they kind of got the sales marketing people out of the room, and so they just let the brewers do it. So the last few years that I was involved at Fort George, that three-way was happening, like I was pretty much out of the loop.
Okay.
I mean, I knew who the breweries were, but I didn't. I mean, at the first 3 or 4 years, I sat at the table and helped develop the recipes to whatever small. I'm really not trying to like have an opinion and get these like OG incredible brewers, right? Just my little opinion on the side is pretty much all I had. But yeah, it got to a point where I wasn't even at the table, and that was fine. So no hard feelings with that. So.
It's kind of like some authenticity
Yeah,
to that,
for sure.
in a way.
But Hoyt was just tearing his hair out trying to satisfy everybody.
Oh yeah, that aspect of it, I understand that. I mean,
Everybody wanted it.
what's easier, telling people no, you don't have enough, or beating your head against the wall, why aren't people buying? I would think I would always rather gracefully tell people no.
Yep.
Damn, that's a good point.
Than just, sales is hard.
That's
true. I mean, the market's really, really tough these days.
It's one of the most notable series in the Northwest.
Oh, it's incredible. And, I give Chris Nimlewell the props. He had the idea for that, and it was genius.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a cool idea. Just get people together. And every year, you notice they do three-way. They learn from those breweries. And so they're
the most
up in their
important
game
thing.
every time.
Yep.
So, and hopefully those breweries are learning from them too. And that's the whole concept is like, if we can learn and they can learn, it elevates everybody.
Yeah, I know. It's like such a what a great racket. Like it's I mean, the theme has always kind of been, for the most part, like they'll pick one brewery that kind of everybody knows is like insane, like hard to get. Their beer is fantastic, and then they kind of pick one brewery that is like turning a lot of industry heads, but isn't super outward facing in terms
varietal,
of
cellar maker.
for sure.
Yeah.
Fucking who else?
The list goes on and
The
on.
list really does. But it's always like one big one and kind of one smaller one, and I've always loved that. And it again kind of shows sort of like this insight into the industry that those guys probably don't get a ton of credit for. But yeah, they've collaborated with some of the early on, like when you were still there.
Yeah.
Some of the breweries now that are like the biggest breweries.
Holy Mountain for sure.
Totally,
Dude,
yeah.
Freem was early.
Rubens,
Georgetown was early.
Yeah.
Rubens.
Yeah. Well, I remember we were really trying to, like, as you were a new brewery up here in Washington, and, selling your beer out of state is harder than selling your beer in your backyard. And, so that was one of the big reasons that they were always picking, like, a really nice OG Washington or Seattle brewery to try to piggyback off of a little bit,
Yeah.
I have that fucking fight with breweries every week. Our beer's selling great around here. How come you guys aren't buying as much as we're selling? Because your beer's going to sell better. We're closer to you, man. What?
It's just a fact. I mean,
Proximity is like the fourth biggest reason that people would buy a certain brewery's beer.
Yep, true.
And then if you weren't busy enough, you started Festival of Dark Arts.
Yeah, I had really nothing to do with Dark Arts at all, other than like helping out every year. And I still go back. We're involved at Steeplejack. We're involved in Dark Arts this year, so we made a beer
Which is
for it.
so exciting.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome.
We only get a few tickets, so I give them, make sure the brewers get them. And so I'm going to volunteer with Brad Blazer and do ticketing and help all the volunteers out.
Totally.
So I'll be working the first shift. So. Nice. My wife and I, so we get our tickets for free, so we can hang out and go. So,
What beer did you brew at Steeplejack?
I think, and don't quote me, but I believe it's an Imperial Milk Stout that's going into cognac barrels.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yum.
Nice. Yeah. So.
Speaking of Steeplejack beer, can we try some Steeplejack beer that you...
Oh,
that
yeah.
okay? We can wait till after the break.
No.
I'm just like sitting here drooling over the thing that...
You mean
said
besides
was in
the
your brew.
mild?
Well,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your weird one that you brought. But if you
As
want...
he leans to get it.
I didn't bring that much.
He's moving to the
I just want to
cooler.
talk about nerdy stuff.
So how many breweries do you... There's 3 locations now for Steeplejack, and how many breweries? Do you have one at each location? Or is it
Two
just
breweries.
2 out of 3,
So we
okay.
got our production space in Hillsboro. It's a 30-barrel brew house. And then the OG spot at the Broadway, the old church location, is 10-barrel brew house.
Okay, so you do kind of more test batches on that one.
Correct, yeah. And then we got a pizza
big
pub, too.
stuff.
So.
Nice.
Do you have a tomato juice can
No,
there, Matt?
this is awesome.
Yes.
This is awesome.
So what you're holding there is a steeple snack. It is
Sure
a
is.
under 3% beer in a 7.5 ounce can. These are paired perfectly with bourbons and spirits, and probably we could call it a back for a barley wine.
They're adorable.
Since we're sitting here drinking barley wine.
Yes, I saw these on the Instagram. I'm so excited to try them.
So yeah, I think the only other package in this size is the Cornitos, 7-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a fun
These are
low ABV
great.
situation. So this is an Australian sparkling ale. It's
I was gonna say, is this a Cooper's clone right now?
2.8% ABV.
Yeah,
Thanks,
dude.
Nicole.
Nicole's not even here.
Yeah.
This is darling.
Thanks, Nicole.
All right, I'm in
Absolutely
there.
darling.
So these will be in Washington in January. We just launched Portland last week.
This is so
And we're, like I said, we're really going after, bars to like pair it like with your spirits. Serve it as a back deal. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you get your bourbon and we'll
And a
just
steeple snack.
push this snack across the bar to throw.
fucking branding.
And it's cool because it's super low ABV. So if
Yeah.
you're drinking spirits, it can kind of keep you drinking the spirits without drinking a higher ABV back.
Genius.
I feel like there's that trend of like low ABV or even non-alcoholic
Heck yeah.
beers. What's everyone's theory on that? Like, why?
I have
what's
a
sparking that?
few. This is another thing where I was like, I feel like this is going to start happening. Because like when COVID hit, like obviously everything got more expensive. And there was a lot of things that changed. And for a minute, you saw a couple of breweries fucking around with like table beers, which like all of these are just kind of table
I did
beers.
one.
And so to me, I think there's like, you can't keep making like big double IPAs with as many ingredients as breweries had been prior to that, because the pints were going to start being fucking $11.50. And like, I don't think anybody's going to do that. And so you kind of like pare down. I imagine what a lot of brewers are starting to do was like pare down the beer into like the elements that the people wanted the most out of them, which for a lot of beer is like the aroma characteristic, like in hoppy beer at least. So you have these like 4.5 to like 5.5% like super hop aroma like pale ales. Ilk is doing that kind of stuff, which like Pat talked about that when he was on the pod a year ago. But yeah, and so I think a lot of it is like kind of trying to like tune down the pricing a little bit so that it's not super expensive to have a very good beer drinking experience. And I imagine this is probably like a similar kind of effort. You don't want something that's gonna you also want something that's gonna be sessionable that you can hang out and drink. For a while, we were all like going crazy for double and triple hazy IPAs,
Right.
And we were all like, "Oh damn, I can drink half of this $9 can.
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully, I can share it with somebody." During COVID, you're not around anybody you can share it with. So
Still go hiking.
Yeah, I love it. I love the trend. I think it's
I do too.
I do
awesome.
too.
Super, like I'm super here for it.
Be interesting to see what January looks like this year.
Dry, yeah. I don't do any of the
3%
dry
January.
months. I like to just if you're
3%
drinking too
beers
much,
only.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
if you're drinking too much, just chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to take a whole month off. I mean, come on. You're hurting people here. Oh, come on. Your favorite bar is gonna close.
Tim's like, "Motherfuckers, we got beer to sell."
Jeez.
I approve of this message. We'll still be clearing out
But, yeah,
Christmas beer.
Something to snack on.
We definitely focus on low ABV beers. That's a big focus of ours. I mean, our Klaus IPA is 6.6%. We're really trying to like bring as much food into play. Make our beers very food friendly, not
Yes.
just have them be just overwhelm your palate. We're kind of going the other direction. We do have an Imperial line coming out next month. We've got a malt liquor and Imperial Red coming. But and then like I said, the Imperial Stout we're doing for dark arts. There are a few here and there, but I think I was on board for 6 months until we had the first beer that was over 7%.
Wow.
Out of all three of our locations and all the beer we're making, most everything is in that. We do a lot of 4%, 4.5%, Mexican dark lager, Schwartz beer, big lager program. But yeah, really focusing on lower alcohol.
And some cask stuff too, right?
Oh, of
like
course,
actual traditional cask
absolutely,
stuff. Love it.
Cask, Firkin. I've done multiple events with pins. I've been DJing on the side for fun, and we do an event called Pin and Spin, where I come in and bring my turntables and all my DJ equipment, and I spin records for the night, and we have a pin. So we'll tap that.
What's
pin.
your DJ name?
Yeah.
DJ Big Tim Slade.
Nice.
And
Now
there's
it's
the
DJ
reference.
Pin
You
Spin, though.
might be. You guys are probably old enough, but if you've ever seen Kentucky Fried Movie, you'll get where that comes from.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Back to these small beers. It's really hard to hide any flaws in these very clean and light beers, and they are great. So let's talk about your brewer. Who's brewing all these?
Anna Buxton's our head brewer. We got a woman-led brew team, so we have 5 brewers. Kevin Howney is our production manager. You know, he came from Trapdoor, Migration. Anna's worked at Modern Times and worked under Van at Rock Bottom.
Insane.
And yeah, some good lineage. You know, Gracie's our pub brewer. She came from Migration. Then we had a couple other brewers, Pauline and Sean, that do a great job. Yeah, they're just making some great beers. Or, I'm more involved with the production process at Steeplejack than I ever was at Fort George. I was always 2 hours away from Fort George when I worked with them. So there's always this level of being detached. But I sit down in production meetings and we talk about all these things and we try to, cooperatively make good decisions. We're so young, we don't have a lot of history. And we can really shoot ourselves in the foot if we overproduce something or do something wrong. So we're trying to
We're
be
just
really
little.
still 30 barrels of beer, or if you fill an 80-barrel tank, it's a lot of
You're
beer.
like, yeah.
That's got to be fun though as a sales rep too.
It is, yeah. I kind of call it like helping steer the ship, which is one of the reasons why I took the job, and I love being with the team so much.
Yeah.
So,
You're also on a mission from God.
yeah, let's get
It's
holy.
a church.
It is.
You're
Yeah.
brewing in a church.
For anybody who's never been to Steeplejack, it is a beautiful fucking church.
Yeah.
It's one of the most gorgeous places you could have a beer.
Like it's pretty preserved.
Yeah, it's a 100-plus-year-old
been.
church.
Nice.
And yeah, it
Stained
took
glass,
them over
like-
2 years to remodel the space. It's gorgeous. Our tap panels are made out of pews.
Ooh.
It's just
That's
an
amazing.
absolutely epic space.
Naturally.
Seating for over
Totally.
200 people in there, so we can fit a lot of people.
Cool.
Honestly, I've always
I love that.
there's even before I went down there's like something very romantic about the idea that you're in this like very old building with a lot of like the original artwork and everything, and then you're drinking these like very well executed like 100, 200-year-old beer styles. Like the actual product matches the space so well that it's like it's not just beautiful. It actually feels it's almost like nourishing in a way. Like it just feels like a very complete drinking experience.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I
It
agree.
is. It's very.
With Luker handles and everything.
We got a Luger handle for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. I was just talking to a guy down in Southern Oregon, and apparently there's only one Luger handle in the Ashland, Medford area. And they always pour Pilsner Urquell. I'm like, that's just sad. Not because they pour Pilsner Urquell.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing that beer at all.
Right.
I'm just saying that there's only one. I'm like, it's really hard to have variety.
Yeah, maybe a little steeplejack.
Yeah, right? Our West Coast Pilsner is so good on a Luger handle. Like, it's phenomenal.
All the tap room owners are like, yeah, man, but they're $240. And there's only 2 guys on the planet that can fix them.
You gotta learn how to do that stuff yourself.
That's true. Spend money to make money too.
Yeah, I agree. And that, to me, that's a very small investment. If you're an OG beer bar and you want to have something cool that no one else has, $250 seems like nothing.
That is
Right?
true.
I mean,
and to highlight a beer that people probably wouldn't
Sure.
order otherwise, like Pilsner Quell off of the Luker is amazing.
You guys just had Michael on from Vice, and we did a collab with them. They brewed a West Coast Pilsner at Vice. And then before they had it on, they're like, we want to put your Pilsner on the Luger handle. I'm like,
Yep.
yes, please.
Yep.
So I pop in there and I drink 3 of those.
Good.
Delicious.
It's already break time, so we're gonna finish our steeple snacks real quick and be right back. So stick around. Thank you for hanging out during the break. If you missed it, please do check out Channel 253 and send lots of love to our wonderful producer Doug, who's on the mic and always makes it sound wonderful.
Yay, Doug!
Yay, Doug!
Feeling it.
Doug's podcast network is fantastic, and it's a great way to stay connected to Tacoma, and it's all member supported, so it's super important that you support those guys. But yeah, go to channel253.com/membership because you can listen to us talk about beer and support the stuff that they do. We have
What?
Oh,
Wrong
man.
with brown sugar.
we have new beer in front of us,
That's good shit.
which is it's brown sugar. Paired with caramel corn,
Yeah.
which I imagine is probably perfect.
Yeah.
2003.
2003. Yep.
3?
So now the third oldest
20?
beer.
Just 20 years.
Only 20 years, yeah. If we waited next month, we could say it was 21 years.
Yeah.
It would have been legally old enough to drink itself.
Wow.
20
years.
20.
Little low on the carbonation, but still tastes pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So I like it a lot more than fresh brown sugar.
It's a little mellower
It's a little more mellow.
after 20 years.
Yeah, that's what it
I'm
takes.
sure you'll agree that a lot of beers need to be aged.
Dude, I
It's
agree with
rare,
that.
but there are definitely like Delirium Noel. Like I won't touch that unless it's at least like 6 or 10 years old.
Dude, totally.
You know,
There's I've talked about it before, but Garrett Oliver has a quote in the Brewmaster's Table about the Sierra Nevada guys giving him shit for writing, I think, a review on Bigfoot before it was 2 years old, and he's like, dude, that beer needs at least 2 years before you give it any kind of feedback. And it was
Yeah.
like this silly thing, but yeah, like some beer is kind of just made to sit for a bit, and barley wine is for sure one of those. I don't know if 20, but
I've got some
works.
Celebration
Yeah.
and some Bigfoot that are from the 90s for sure.
awesome.
Oh, well, thanks for sharing part of your cellar.
Cheers. It needs to be consumed.
Sharing
so
your cellar.
We'd love to go through these trials.
Yeah.
It's a science experiment. You know?
It is totally
'Cause
science.
some of these just get dumped. You know.
Guess outro.
Yeah, man.
Look at the thickness in there.
I know. I got a little schmeckers too.
You know-
I'm sorry you got the bottom of the bottle.
I'm tempted to pour
Don't
some
drink that. You have a long
steeple
drive
snack
home.
into here.
Do
Let me
it.
dump this into something.
What's
You got
going to
a little
happen?
Yes. This
That's
can
madness.
be-
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm
I'm
talking
How's it
about,
taste?
right? Add some carbonation back into it.
Are you cuvee the snack with the brown sugar?
Great. Yes. Yes.
That's so smart.
It's
I am a
steeple
fan of beer
sugar.
blending. I don't think that we do nearly enough beer blending.
Dude,
I mean, when I used to
Agreed.
have 5 homebrews on tap, I would usually blend them.
I
Not all
agree.
of them, but like I want this from this and this from this, and you know.
Yep.
Well, and these little beers you can blend with like a double IPA and make just a regular IPA.
There you go. You made a pale ale.
That's how math works.
And you've combined, different kinds of hops, and
Damn, that makes that so
Yeah.
much better.
Yes.
Wow.
you're welcome.
That's amazing.
I love it. That's great.
Should open up a beer curiosity shop.
Yeah.
I know. It's like you should be a professional brewer, Bethany,
Yeah. Aw. Maybe again someday.
and have multiple
soon.
successful beer businesses.
Yeah,
Why not
maybe
both?
someday.
I know. Bethany's made a lot of very good beer, and a lot of it is actually in this realm of like classic styles.
Yeah.
Phaedra's cracked caramel corn is on the table too.
That's right. It's delicious.
I saw you scraping
Oh
handfuls
my
of that out of the
God!
bag.
It's more caramel than corn.
That is the way to go.
That's the way to go.
Well, now I have to try some.
You do.
Your teeth
Great
say
palate
so.
cleanse.
Oh.
Dennis says so.
Okay,
Taste that. That's
All right.
great.
where were we before the break?
We were somewhere.
I think we got Steeplejack.
Could be. It's
know,
only
we were
3
Talking
hours
about
away.
the church.
We were
yeah.
gushing harder than this hair of the dog bottle.
Props to
You guys
Alan.
can't see that.
Greer laughed.
Who laughed? Greer laughed? Thanks,
Yeah.
Greer. Stupid fermentation jokes. Bill, yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking a little bit about some of the stuff that you did while you were at Fort George, and we skipped over Jim Parker's birthday, but it was the same day as our last recording that we did. And if you're not familiar, Jim Parker is like one of the most iconic beer industry people. He bounced around a lot, but a lot of the work that he did was insanely impactful, both nationally and regionally. But also happened to work with you at Fort George during your time there. And
Yeah.
you said you hired him?
Yeah, I sat down with Brian Bovenides, who was the marketing manager, my boss at the time, and we basically interviewed Jim along with a couple other people. And it was kind of like going to the interview where like we weren't really like we kind of have to interview Jim no matter what,
Yeah.
you know,
Seems
no
like a
matter what
formality.
happens. And Jim shows up in a full suit. The most professional I've ever seen him. And I have known
Amazing.
Jim for at least a decade at this point.
Yeah.
He worked with my brother back at the Green Dragon when they were opening up back in the day, and just blew us away. Like we're like, how do we not hire Jim? I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? Jim sticks around for 6 months or a year, and then leaves, and we hire somebody else. That's the worst that's going to happen. He's not going to burn bridges. He's not going to do anything like wrong where it's going to like hurt the brand. And sure enough, he stuck around for a year and then left. But and the original plan was he was living in Bellingham. He was part time. We're like, all right, we'll hire you 20 hours a week for a year and you're planning on moving to Seattle. That's what he told us. He's like, I'm going to plan on moving to Seattle. And at that point, we'll move you on to full-time. And he's like, I'm not moving to Seattle. And I'm like, well, does this make sense? He's like, yeah, I'm ready for something else anyway. And I mean, Jim didn't stick around at many places for very long.
No, he got bored quick.
Very bored and just moved on. And yeah, it was great. He really helped us build Bellingham and supported Seattle pretty good too. And like I said, it was he did a great job.
Can I ask you a Jim Parker question?
Sure.
Because I feel like he is, so he's credited with inventing tachos, which to my knowledge is like pretty accurate.
Okay.
But I have also heard him credited with inventing the hot scotchy.
Ooh. Absolutely, I've heard that too.
What?
Yeah, still, yeah. We do hot scotchies with tequila at Steeplejack. So you do a collab with us. We do them or mezcal.
I've never heard this.
But I've heard that he created that. So if you don't know what a hot scotchy is,
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you want to tell him?
Go for it.
Hot scotchy is scotch with fresh wort. So you're brewing your beer, you pull some of that hot wort off the tank,
Which is like sweet.
which is super sweet. It
yeah,
tastes like
and
liquid cereal, basically.
Yep.
And mix it with some scotch. And that's
Or
how you start your brew
tequila.
day. We do mezcal. So
Yeah, I was
no
going to say
disrespect.
smoky mezcal actually makes a
Okay.
lot of
Respect to Jim,
sense.
but just a different play on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, same concept. So.
I'm there for that too.
Yeah, man, I've heard that a couple of times, and I like for as popular as that is right now. Like, I mean, people have been writing articles about the hot scotchy for like 20 years, it seems like. But yeah, man, for all of the shit that Jim Parker did, that would seem like a crazy thing to be credited with. But I also he did enough where I don't not believe it. So
yeah, it doesn't
just curious
surprise
if you
me
knew.
at all. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but it doesn't surprise me. Anyway.
Whatever. Jim legends are all facts.
Absolutely.
In my brain.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Happy late birthday to Jim.
Props to Jim for sure.
And you worked with another one of our favorite people, Hoyt.
Love Hoyt.
Love Hoyt.
Yeah, Hoyt's wonderful.
We
Good
talked about
friend of
Hoyt
mine,
last week
yes.
too.
Yeah, very
Was Hoyt in
fortunate
the
to work with some
Hopniff?
great
He was,
people.
very much
Nope.
so.
Yep, okay.
Front and center.
Yep, I listened to Scott's pod. I didn't really realize how injured he got on that DDT.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
That's right. Hoyt was the one who got
remember
the
that.
fucking. He got suplexed through a table.
Suplex, yeah, concussion, I guess. Yeah, no, Hoyt's wonderful, and not in the beer industry anymore. He's
Building
He's
gadgets.
building cool stuff. Oh yeah, like I said, I DJ like as a weird midlife crisis hobby, and
We've all got those.
Hoyt. I've been talking to Hoyt a bunch because he knows way more about all this musical
Yeah.
equipment than I do, and he's like, oh, by the way, he's like, I've got an amp and like a rack system and an 18-inch subwoofer. Just come up here, dude. We'll make a little trade. You can have it. I'm like,
That sounds so much. Like
okay.
Hoyt.
And so yeah, like the next day I'm like driving to Seattle, like like a turn and burn. I like pick everything up. I hugged the baby and like hung out there for like an hour and then like drove back home.
Yeah.
Hoyt DJ'd here once.
Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, yeah,
And played guitar here
he's an
once.
actual talented musician,
Yeah.
whereas like I just replay people's music. So it's a big difference.
Hoyt was also the type to just know a little bit about everything.
For sure.
He's
Ever.
a smart
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Like he's asked me super specific questions about shit that I do, like my hobbies on the side, where it's like, how could you possibly know that specific thing and ask me about that? But it's because he just was like that.
I love it.
Is why he sold beer so well.
And now he's a father, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Good
Got
for
a
him.
gorgeous kid for sure.
Yeah. Miss him.
I miss
Yep.
Hoyt.
Yeah.
Hoyt, come on the podcast.
I don't think he's drinking a ton these days. So
That's fair. We can drink.
We can drink
Steeple
this.
We can
Smacks.
drink this. I
We'll
was
drink
just
Steeple
gonna
Smacks.
say if there's any left.
Can I have an NA or a low ABV NA show? Because that's the thing.
Love it.
We should.
Love that
should,
idea.
actually.
And a
That's a
show
good
might be a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I guess besides you've been in the industry for a long time. You've seen so much change and evolve. Besides Steeplejack, are there any like new breweries out there that like you've been kind of following and like are excited about?
I mean, there's a ton. I stay really locally. I don't really jump on the national scene a ton these days. So, there's people popping up that I'm just totally unfamiliar with, to be completely honest.
Sure.
Staying local, Oak Union is a local brewery in like Milwaukee area. I live in Oregon City, and they're doing some really good stuff. Kings and Daughters doing some great stuff in Portland. I had a
seriously.
pint of their Pilsner over at the Parkway earlier today.
They're making soap, too.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, make soap, make hot sauce, diversify.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's good when you're king.
Yeah, for
Are there
sure.
any brewers that don't make hot sauce?
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like that's like a
Big fan of Living House, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Brujos, I'm a hophead. I like to really, I think West Coast IPAs are probably going to still be my favorite style that I really love to consume. I've gone to the other side of, I drink a lot more Pilsners and lagers and lower alcohol beers. I'm always looking for, I wish session IPAs would be a thing again because I love them. I know like really good pale ales are a thing. I drink a lot of those.
I think they're going to be a thing again. They just won't be called that.
Yeah.
But,
I don't even
Bethany's
care
point
about the name.
earlier.
Yeah.
To Bethany's point earlier, like the lower ABV thing, I think is going to kind of be across the board in a way, and like IPAs will be affected by that, but they just won't be called session. But they'll be really hop forward and probably still bitter, but just lower alcohol and lighter body, which I'm, like I said,
I'm all for it. Yeah, for
hell
sure.
Some
yeah.
breweries going
And
to
I
coin
love
the
big
term,
beers.
a new term for it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be fucking Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a diet IPA. Yeah, Kevin Davey.
So yeah, we made a
Italian.
cold, basically a tropical pilsner, and I'm like, why aren't we calling it a cold IPA? It's like because we didn't put one ingredient in it to make it a true cold IPA. So they're like, you don't want to get Kevin upset. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna argue with the brewers here, But yeah, it was hard to sell as tropical pilsner. If it was called a cold IPA, we probably would have
Yeah.
sold a lot better. So
I've tried to sell
where I come
tropical
from.
lagers too,
yeah, right.
and they're always delicious. But yeah, they,
Maybe steeple snacks will become the thing. Maybe that'll be like, oh, we're going to brew a steeple snack,
Snack
20
size
years from
IPA.
now.
Snack
And
size
you'll
beer.
have, you guys
dude,
have done it.
yeah. Yeah, that'll just be like the industry vernacular now.
Sometimes you just
they'll
need a
be
little
at
beer.
the grocery store checkouts.
Yeah.
Impulse buys.
Impulse buy.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
I love
snacky.
that.
I'm feeling snacky.
snack.
Can I get a case stack right next to the register, please?
But yeah, we don't usually do that with alcohol. No. You will here.
Single them out. No, just single them out.
Single them out.
We'll keep them above the reach of the kids.
$1.50 a can all day
Adult
long.
reaching.
Kleenex, Q-tips, steeple sticks.
Yeah. Right next to the chiclets.
You're telling me if this wasn't at the register for $1.50 a can, this would not sell like insane? Are you? Yeah, come on.
All right.
I love what
let's
this
do
is
it,
doing.
dog.
Pour the dog.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just keep that.
Someone take a
Okay.
picture of that?
Of the thing?
Of the thing.
Of the thing.
I know it kind of just looks. It's weird now. It just looks like a.
This is a 2016 doggy claws from our friend Alan at Hair of the Dog.
Oh man. Still old. It's the newest beer you brought, and it's still almost
Right?
as old as my child.
That's where my air plug is.
Jesus Christ. Barley wine.
He's gonna wake up tomorrow morning. He's like, "Why does my ear feel so weird?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
You're gonna get an
smells.
infection.
Good.
That's
You're
totally
gonna get an
true.
infection, and then we're gonna have a new fuck up story for Ron,
Probably got some sediment.
which will actually be his first one because he's never fucking.
Well,
I did.
we've been just
Without the
doing
headphones.
Oh,
all-
fair enough. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
This is outstanding.
That's great.
Oh.
All right, 3 winners. I'm happy with that.
nice.
The bottom of it.
They're also different, too.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Different ages, different different oxidation and like fermentation character. Just so good. This might be the winner though.
It smells delicious.
Kaboom.
7 years seems to be the peak.
I'm gonna say that 20 years is probably more than you should age most beers.
A little over the hill. Oh man, it's so good though. Oh, I know. I need to bring. My cellar is like full of like a few old things, not 20 years old, but I feel like I need to just start clearing it out more. Maybe if
Right.
we do like a New Year's one.
I did bring one other thing. If you guys wanna,
That looks like a palate cleanser for.
It is.
Chug your hair of the dog.
3% lager. But yeah,
Oh,
it's
is it?
it's a good palate cleanser.
Dude, your guys' collaborations so far have been like so much fun too. And you had like, I don't know, are there any coming up that you're allowed to talk about? You don't have to. I'm just curious. Like they've all been home runs so far.
Yeah, there's a few ones coming up, but yeah,
Fair enough.
we do a lot of them.
Yeah, I love it.
They're fun.
That's like been such a huge theme for a lot of breweries this year. Is like just tons of collaboration, not just with other breweries, obviously, but with other, with all kinds of sort of industry adjacent entities.
Or not.
Yeah, or just not. Yeah,
or
not
not
even
just
adjacent at
local
all.
businesses.
I know we're planning to do a barleywine festival. I think
Sweet.
it's probably a year or two out because we're going to be doing a lot of collaborations with people, and those beers they're not made overnight. You know?
Yep.
So yeah.
Shout out Sean Jackson.
Yeah. Shout out.
I know. I know. This
No more
this will be a
information
Sean
on that,
episode.
but eventually we're going to do
awesome.
right now something that's been in the discussion, and we've been actively getting stuff going. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not doesn't happen overnight.
Right on.
Nice.
How's everything been since like the because you guys obviously are with a pretty big sized distributor up here, which is relatively new. It's been like a year now, maybe less
about
than that.
10 months, 9 months.
Yeah.
So
How has it been? So
I mean,
far?
it's a grind, like I said, and unfortunately, we don't have enough representation up here. It's just me managing 6 distributors
over across multiple states.
across 2
Which is
states. Yeah,
wild.
for sure. Basically, Bellingham to Medford, Oregon. We don't really do Eastern Oregon or Eastern Washington beyond Bend.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, absolutely. 6 distribution companies, and Brody, one of the owners, does help a lot and does a lot of the back end work, submitting items for chains and stuff like that that I don't have to deal with.
That's his whole world, man.
I'm pretty much the guy on the streets doing all the events and going out and grinding and seeing accounts, seeing 40, 50 accounts a week and just trying to let people know who we are. And of course, the further we get away from our backyard, the less people really know who we are.
Yeah.
And but it's been nice because in the 10 months, I've seen the percentage of people like, oh yeah, we had a keg from you guys. Oh yeah, we know who you are. Like it's becoming more and more, which is great.
That's good. It takes time, man. Like to
totally takes
establish
time.
trust
It
in a brand
absolutely
in an
does.
outer market.
Absolutely
It's
does,
hard.
Yeah.
But I see us like a little kind of baby Freem or Breakside or something like that. I mean, we've won so many awards in the last 2.5 years. It's like mind
Let 'em
blowing to
know.
me.
Yeah, let 'em know, Tim.
Yeah, no, it just blows me away because, I mean, zero disrespect to Fort George, but went to a lot of GABS and didn't bring any medals home, and, but like I was
salt is
no
in the air.
no salt. So wait, really quick, please. Fort George, I think, is the highest untapped rating in Oregon other than DeGard.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yet is not the massive medal winner at events. So that just
Agreed.
kind of means that to me that they're not really making beers that adhere to style guidelines, but they make beers
100%.
that people really want to drink. So no disrespect to Fort George. I'm just saying it's just a different model, But also
What-
medals
to be
don't
super clear-
necessarily sell
Yeah.
beer either, So
To be clear, for brands that are not in my book, Fort George is probably like a top 3 for
Yeah,
me.
they're
No
one
joke.
of my
sure.
favorite
And
brewers. for
like
sure.
Matt is one of my favorite brewers, and like I think he's done fantastic work there since he's been there.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, no, like I think you're totally right. I think they actually stick. I actually think that Fort George is uniquely good at sticking to like evolving contemporary consumer tastes
Sure.
much better than they are to sticking to like traditional style guidelines that a BJCP judge would like fawn for.
True.
So I know exactly what you mean.
Yep. This is one of my dumb statements I've been saying for like 15 years. Beer's like music. It's subjective. You can't argue what the palate wants or what the ears want. You can't really say this beer is better than that beer. You can say it, but you're really just yelling an opinion. We could all sit at this table and agree that this beer is better than that beer, but it doesn't make this beer better than that beer. You could take it to another 20 people and get a completely different response. So I kind of take judging beer with a kind of a grain of salt. I think it's good to be judged by your peers and win medals. I think that's awesome. But it's so subjective. You can argue that like this beer has more alcohol than this beer, or this beer has more hops than this beer, or this drummer can play faster than this drummer. Those are things that are quantifiable. Saying that something is better than something based on opinion is only your opinion.
Right. And I also
So-
don't think it means that somebody will enjoy one more than the other either.
Correct. We all have different tastes and palates, and we
Just
all
look at
appreciate different
Untapped.
things. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a blessing and a curse. Like I see both sides to the Untapped fiasco.
Untapped is funny because like, and I wonder how somebody like Steeplejack, because I've looked maybe a few of your Untapped scores, but I'm not on it as often. But it is kind of it's like a powerful market research tool in a way, because you are looking at how general consumers are receptive to the beers that you're making.
Sure.
But depending on like where you're at in the country, it kind of changes how people use Untapped. And in the Northwest, especially, people are like very finicky. And so
totally.
a really good score on Untapped in the Northwest could be something that's like anywhere close to like a 4 caps or whatever, stars or whatever they use. If you're like on the East Coast, and you're looking at like Mortala stuff or other half stuff or whatever it is, it'll be like 4.8, 4.6. Like those are, and it's like the average, which is wild.
It is wild.
But I like after so many hours of like, okay, why are people doing this and this and this? It kind of seems like there are parts of the country or maybe consumers of some brewers who rate things just based on how much they enjoyed the beer itself, whether or not it fits any kind of style guideline. Whereas in the Northwest, we're a bunch of like nerdy assholes, and like if something doesn't taste enough like a pale ale that they think it should, it's 3.5.
Yeah, and like for certain styles, you're never going to get a 4.5 on an English mild.
No,
or even most lagers will never get a high score. No matter, it could be like like let's say everyone in the country agrees this is the best Pilsner. We've reviewed it for 8 million people, right? Yep. And like we've all agreed. Yeah. 3 stars. It's not the style I drink. Or I always loved it. I remember like Fort George came out with Roses on Roses. It was like a Belgian double IPA in barrels. And they got a review by like the Oregonian or something like that. And like the first sentence is like, I don't like Belgian IPAs. And he like just ripped the beer. And I'm like, wow, if you don't like Belgian IPAs, why are you reviewing a Belgian IPA? That makes no sense to me.
It does make no sense.
Like, so yeah.
So the Dark Mild is one that won a lot of awards, right?
It is our most award-winning beer, for sure, yeah.
Okay,
I think we've got 3 golds in our
It tastes like it.
Curious, yeah.
It's
so, but look at the score on Untapped. It's probably not like great.
3.6.
It's like
exactly.
Who's rating an English mild
they're
at
hard.
a high rating? It just doesn't really happen.
Hard to get, the attention deserved.
Yeah, for sure. Unless it's a smoothie sour or a barrel-aged stout or a big IPA.
Something that punches you in the face.
You're not going to probably get an incredibly high score on Untapped unless you're one of those 3 categories of beers.
That's true.
So.
That's why I focus on those style of beers. We're pouring one last beer, your high ABV lager.
Yep. This is a beer that did not make it to Washington. It was a collaboration with Old Standby Brewery, which is he's kind of a gypsy brewer, doesn't really have a brewery, he's a home brewer, but has got these great relationships with all the manufacturer of like, Lake Malt, Yakima
nice.
hops. You can see all the ingredients. So all the ingredients for this beer are donated to us. And then we take the cost of the ingredients and donate them to the 2 charities on the back. So these are supporting a couple of charities, supporting women in the craft beer industry.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically it's called Higher Purpose. It's a beer for a cause. I think this was the 9th one he's done. He just did one with Ale Apothecary. They're all basically beers made to generate money for charities. He's got a real job, so he doesn't take money from the project. Basically just whatever the deal is, they get money donated back to the charities. So
that's so lovely and so positive.
Yeah.
So 6.3% Oregon lager, not hoppy or anything, just kind of like focus on that malt.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
5 caps.
5 caps. Yes.
You heard it here first.
I love it. It's so good.
Bethany's like, I really like women brewers. 5 caps.
Yes, but
it's also
also
just a good
the
beer.
beer is very good and clean.
It is. It's lovely. Yeah. And it's going to make very good fuck-up story fuel.
Fuck-up story.
It is time for a fuck-up story.
Is it time?
It is time for a fuck-up story.
All right.
All right, illustrious grit and grain guests. Now it's time to throw down on some fuck-up stories. I am Sean Jackson. Challenge flag has been set. Bar is high. Bring it on, fuckers.
So, all right, we're going to bring Jim Parker back into play on this one. And this is kind of more of a fuck-up story that I feel like we missed a really good opportunity. So this might have happened, So this happened in Spokane. We were out at a beer event, which is really cool, doing a beer event with another rep like that. You get to work the room together. You get to someone to talk to. You're not doing it by yourself. Is what, as a beer rep, you generally do events by yourself. So Jim and I are working the room. Jim comes up to me and he's like, dude, look at this. And he shows me the card. It is literally the chief of police from Spokane. Gives him this business card, and he said, hey, just in case you guys get jammed up in Spokane at all, here's my card. Wow. Whoa. And I was like,
Spokane
and I look at Jim and I go, did we just get...
I believe that. I totally
a get out of jail free
So
pass?
many one-way streets.
And he's like, yes. And so we did an event the night before. We were pretty exhausted. We're like, all right, we're going to go back to the hotel room. We're going to clean up. And we're going to go back out. It's like 11 o'clock at night at this point. Yeah. We go back to the room. They're like, oh, there's an indoor pool. We jump in the pool. And we're like, we are not going back out. So my fuck up is like, we did not utilize this really rare situation because he wanted us to come back out and party with him. And I'm like, what is partying with the chief of police like? I have no idea. I usually avoid that situation because maybe I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So missed a really good opportunity with that.
I would have picked a fight just to fucking hand that card to somebody.
We should have. It was a missed opportunity. Yeah. So it was a fuck up. We'll give it that.
It was a cocaine opportunity.
So,
Jack Reacher.
Not my kind of party, but I mean, I'm not judging either.
You really just probably just bought the opportunity to pay him off.
Maybe. I don't know. That's possible.
I think you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Getting in the pool.
Literally.
Wake up under a bridge, like in cuffs. Like, what happened? I don't know.
You gave me a card, though. I thought the card. No, we're not in the trust tree here.
Get out of pass. I didn't even pass go.
All right, Grit and Grainers. Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com.
Barley wine.
So much barley wine. With your comments, opinions, and Trinity reports, such as the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future floated into Steeplejack to collaborate on a different three-way beer idea for their Northwest thing, but it got a little tense.
Okay, all right. I'm with you, Ron.
We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to... Past, present, future. To respond as soon as we can.
He's being Dickensian again.
Now I'm tense. If not online, then on air.
Oh,
you can subscribe to Grit and Grain on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on channel 253, Douglas.
Yes.
And Grit and Grain podcast.com.
There too?
Yeah, sure. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes, beer news, and holiday gift ideas, such as HollywoodIsCalling.com, because nothing says holiday spirit better than a telephonic contact with Cato Kalin, Horseshack, and Pauly Shore, or any of the other washed-up nobodies who are touching base with their fans in calls up to 30 seconds in duration. Just figure out which trash culture vulture on your holiday giving list would most appreciate a call from a shameless Z-lister. Pay a nominal fee, and said has-been will deliver a live greeting sometime in the next 7 days. The best thing about this offer is the chance to verbally abuse the star in question until he or she hangs up in disgrace. So you're the wheeze, the pest of MTV Beach House past. God damn, whatever happened to you? And don't call me Budday. If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter expectations. Brewed off with your nose so dank, won't you brew some beer to drink? Yeah, toys! No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine.
No!
Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Good up.
Channel 253 is a member-supported podcast network. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I'm asking you to become a member and show your support. Go to channel253.com/membership to join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.